If you've heard that your NHL team might be targeting David Reinbacher with a top 10 pick, it's because when they look at him, this is who they think about.
Westerling. 2 auf 1 ist es mit Seider und der macht sein erstes DL-Tor.
Schade geht mit, kommt aber nicht mehr dran. Vor dem Tor hervorragend aufgepasst von Boyle. Jetzt Seider mit dem Tor.
It was really hard not to picture Moritz Seider, the Red Wings' 6th overall pick of 2019, when watching Reinbacher rapidly progress this season. Of course, Seider is an outlier, an NHL star, and he's becoming one of the best defensemen in the league. But in terms of style of play, environment, and development path, there are many similarities between the two prospects. Both players approach the game in about the same way. They're both right-shot defensemen with above-average NHL size and many interesting tools. They both climbed the rankings as they improved and got more exposure, and they both spent their draft season in Europe, playing in professional leagues. Just like Seider, who played in the German DEL, Reinbacher's current league, the National League in Switzerland, hasn't developed a ton of high-end NHLers over the years. But the NL remains a pretty strong league anyway. It hosts a few ex-NHLers and many top European players. And Reinbacher has more than shown that he can hold his own against them. Look at this clip. Reinbacher overskates former NHLer Alex Formenton, follows up on his shot, wins a puck against Formenton and former NHLer Tim Heed, and then he serves this great pass to his teammate. Contrary to Seider in his draft year, who mostly played in a small role down the lineup, Reinbacher played in EHC Cloton's top 4, and he was very effective. The numbers show it. He scored at the highest pace by a defenseman ever in the league, and he also ranks first, by quite a margin, in terms of win share for under 22 players on the model of Thibaut Châtel. That model weights goals, assists, ice time, and shot shares. When watching Reinbacher, just like with Seider, the first thing that stands out are his tools, especially his skating ability. The defenseman doesn't have a perfect form, but he's explosive and fast. He has a great launch technique and the agility necessary to translate his momentum in any direction while retaining his balance. He's capable of shifting his weight to make tight turns and pick up pucks in movement, or to change direction and speed while rushing the puck. This is a great clip. Reinbacher jumps forward to meet an opponent. He turns back, executes a backward crossover, leans forward to cut a pass, and then accelerates at full speed to join the rush, creating a bit more space for his puck-carrying teammate. You've got everything in there. Acceleration from a stop, agility moves, and straight speed. And he's just 18. He will gain more power and strength. There's a reason he didn't play the full season in the Austrian U20 league last year. Even if he was a couple of years younger than many of his opponents, he was just a little too strong for the league. And even this season, despite the age difference, Reinbacher controlled the front of the net like a veteran in the NL, and he won more than his share of battles. He leveraged the range that his size and mobility gave him to deny space from opponents and knock the puck away from them before they could make plays. His decision-making away from the puck will need to improve. He's sometimes late to his check, but these weaknesses will probably go away as he matures and learns to play inside even more structured systems. With the technical ability he already has, it's easy to imagine him erasing NHL rushes with his skating and stick work, or breaking down cycles with his frame. This is a beautiful takeaway, a textbook one. Reinbacher starts by defending the middle of the ice. He remains on the inside shoulder of this opponent. He backtracks, and to prevent a counter move, he times his closeout with the pass. He engages just as the puck arrives. With perfect technique, he sweeps from the heel to the front of the opponent's stick, and then completes the takeaway by sealing the puck with his body. He finishes the sequence by attracting the opponent one way and passing the other way, inside space. Our team doubted Reinbacher's puck-moving abilities in the first few months of the season. He often ran out of solutions on breakouts, and the forecheck pressured him into mistakes. But the World Juniors made us see his game completely differently. At the tournament, he started escaping opponents and making plays through and around them much more often, and the data confirmed what we were seeing. He finished with one of the best transitions and overall scores on Mitch Brown and Lassie Alanen's tracking project. When he went back to his league in the second half of the season, we continued to accumulate clips of him showing different breakout abilities. And we started to believe in his offensive upside a lot more. It became quite clear that he can turn defensive stops into clean passes to teammates, and that he can use his physical skills on the walls to let teammates grab the puck, or even win those battles outright to pass to them on breakouts. And we also saw him find teammates with clever stretch passes too. This is a great example. He picks up the puck on the wall and looks across the ice, and then he launches a bomb to his teammate there. The play leads to a great scoring chance. But the most important thing in his projection is that, when he's given multiple options in a bit of time, Reinbacher does show hockey sense and adaptability. He looks past opponents and tries to connect with the best possible option. Of course, he isn't showing all of his abilities together in a progression consistently, but the potential is there, and that's what matters at this stage. There are more questions about his offensive play, however, especially his creativity. He's not really a playmaker right now. He does contribute to the offense with backdoor plays, big shots from the point, and he passes the puck well overall. But just like on breakouts, right now, he mostly follows common plays. To become a true NHL playmaker, someone who can really manipulate the defense to open new scoring chances, he will have to break some system rules and develop more creative patterns. That seems like a tall order, yes, but this is where the parallel with Moritz Seider gets the most interesting and allows us to dream a bit. Just like Reinbacher, Seider didn't really project as an offensive quarterback in his draft year. His projection was mostly based on 3 elements: his above-average tools, his potential as a defensive engager, and his flashes of puck-moving abilities. And on the gamble that, because he developed in a lesser-known system, maybe his game contained more potential than other prospects. If you watch enough games of Seider, you could see him make great breakout passes, activate with teammates up ice, and drive down the zone to shoot on net. But these plays didn't happen consistently. Seider's decision-making under pressure was hit and miss in his draft year. Again, not unlike Reinbacher. It's really over the next 2 years that Seider's offensive game took off. Under the guidance of the Red Wings and Roggel's development team, he became a much better version of himself.
Perhaps as Detroit's development staff, Dan Cleary, Sean Horkoff, and previously Brandon Arato, helped Seider improve his handling and reads, these occasional ideas became key parts of his game. Add mechanical improvements to a player who always wanted to activate, create, and shows a clear desire to improve, and combine that with Detroit's structure, one of activation, movement, and defenseman making skilled plays, and you have the perfect recipe for player development.
Reinbacher has probably been more effective overall in this draft year than Seider was. He landed a higher role, scored more, and has handled many in-game situations better. The data shows it too. When we compare the two players on Lassie Ilanen's striking project, draft year Seider has a slight edge at defending the rush, but Reinbacher has the upper hand in most other categories. On breakouts, on retrievals, and in overall advantage creation. That's a player's ability to beat pressure, to create more space for a teammate or himself. But we all know that what matters is not really where players start, but their development and where they end up. The main development advantage that draft year Seider had over Reinbacher was the quality of his tools. The German defenseman measured 6'3.5" at the time of his draft year, and he had one of the longest wingspans measured at a combine. And on top of that, one of the best skating foundations too. He also had a better grip over the puck in more complex maneuvers than Reinbacher. But Reinbacher doesn't need to get to the same level as Seider to become an effective NHLer. If a team can push him along a similar development path, if they can teach him to see more offensive possibilities in the game and to leverage his tools to seize those opportunities, even if Reinbacher doesn't reach Seider upside, he will still become something very valuable and worthy of a high pick. A two-way, top 4, 20 to 25 minutes a night defenseman. So if you do hear his name called top 10 in June, don't think it's because the team that selects him is playing it safe. It's quite the opposite. The team that drafts Reinbacher top 10 will be one that isn't afraid to dream big, to bet on upside and the work of their development team. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. You can also check out epringside.com for more prospect analysis.